To put it plainly, it was a big Apple beatdown last night at the Garden. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks hosting Game 1 versus the Sixers. We'll start here, under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Brunson goes at Paul George, shoots the midi.
I would say it was a longie.
Okay. Under 2 minutes left the first. Kelly Oubre Jr. goes for the layup. He gets blocked by Anunoby. Anunoby has the ball on the other end.
OG is really having a great start to this postseason.
9 minutes left the second. Josh Hart strips the ball, gets it to Bridges. Fast break finish. Anunoby and Bridges, first duo to each average 20 points, 75% field goal percentage in the same two-game span.
Now that's 3 and D.
Here's Brunson.
That's a midi.
I would say that's more like
a floater. Okay,
yeah,
you're
push
right.
shot even.
All right, it's 1-1. Who'll win the next?
Final seconds of the second quarter. Mikal Bridges kicks it out to Brunson.
What do you call him that one?
3-ball. As the clock expires, Brunson 5 straight 35-point games versus the Sixers.
He had to go to the bathroom. He's like, get out of my way.
Tied with Jordan for the longest streak of all time. That's always good. 7 minutes left in the third. Towns sets the screen, gets the ball back, and a triple for Cat. The Knicks go on to dominate the Sixers 137-98. New York's 39-point win, its largest in a home playoff game in franchise history, and second largest in a playoff game behind their 51-point win over the Hawks in Game 6 just a few days ago this postseason. Jalen Brunson was with SVP last night and spoke about the blowout wins.
I don't think it's sustainable for us to keep thinking we're going to win by so much.
Sure.
I think we have the confidence to win. But I think most importantly, just having the right mindset, making sure we're paying attention to the little details. All the little things matter, and just can't lose sight of the main thing and staying focused.
We're playing well, but it doesn't mean anything if we can't find a way to get 3 more wins. So we just got to stick to the task at hand. What you said is the last 4 games. The key word is last. It doesn't have anything to do with the next 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to stay locked in and be disciplined and execute at a high level.
Oh, no. The key word right here for New York Knicks fans from me is I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was seduced by the Philly Game 7 special, and I thought that maybe on paper they had more talent. No. I will have to bow down to this game changer, big body Brunson, because over the last 3 games, he's averaged 30 on 62% shooting, and he does his damage off of the dribble. Great screen by Josh Hart, and there it gets to where he was hotter than anyone else on the floor in New York. He had 27 points in the first half, and guess what? This is what I like, the unselfish nature of this Knicks squad right now. Cat knows he's cooking. He gets the ball. He doesn't even look at the rim, gives it back to Brunson. Brunson, once again, gets to his mid-range. He is lethal off the dribble. This right here, I will never bet against this guy and this squad again, at least when it comes to the Eastern Conference, because they are dominant, and so is he. Jalen Brunson shot 6 for 7 on pull-ups when driving in Game 1. You're right. I should have done this. His 12 points scored on those shots are the second most in any game of his career, regular season or playoffs. I learned my lesson. New York, stand up.
So, Brian, what have the Knicks figured out during this stretch?
Well, they've just played such clean execution on offense, and it's just led to great. I mean, look, when you get hot, you get hot. But they had a really good game plan in this one. They went after Joel Embiid. Now, look, I know that Joel Embiid gets attacked regularly in the pick and roll. That has been the case since he's been in his career. But the Knicks had a purpose. Now, here he is. This is classic drop coverage, all right? So he's going to drop back. He gets caught in no man's land. Mitch gets behind him. After that happens, now he's going to be very, very wary of Mitch, so he's going to stick with him. He's going to say, oh, man, I don't want Mitch to go back to the rim again. I'm going to go with him this time. And then he gives up a straight line drive to the rim. Look, it's one thing to have this in your lineup. This is just a basic pick and pop. Joel is slow to recover because he's been getting beat on drives. Look, it's one thing to have this in your offense. This is not like next level stuff, but getting it, having it cleanly run and executed is the pathway to getting quality offense in the postseason. That's what the Knicks did.
And speaking of quality offense, the hub of their offense has been Karl Anthony Towns. And on that breakdown, I showed that on some plays, he didn't even look at the basket because he was feeding the guy that had the hot hand in Jalen Brunson. But his playmaking, you have to appreciate and give attention to this, because this is a part of his game that I don't think many people give him enough credit. Over over the last 4 games, he's had at least 6 assists. And I believe in that span, right, he had 2 triple-doubles? Was it 4 or so? Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. He had 2 triple-doubles.
He never had a playoff game with more than 5 assists. He's had 6 for 4 games in a row.
Yeah,
and
that's
double-doubles.
the longest streak. And so finally, I'm glad sometimes you have to go through it to get to it. They went through a very difficult loss in the first-round series versus the Atlanta Hawks, and they made the requisite adjustments. And right now, this is the best version of the New York Knicks that I have seen in a very long time, at least within the last 2 years.
One thing that happened in this game, of everything that the Knicks did, Tyrese Maxey, we have not said his name. We've been talking about this game for most of the show. We have not said Tyrese Maxey's name once. That's not going to get it done. He only took 9 shots in like 27, 28 minutes. They need him to be a bigger factor. I kind of feel like with Embiid being so hot these last 3 games, all of the Philly guards, not just Maxey, were kind of looking to get Embiid going, and their game plan, I think, was to get the Knicks into foul trouble, so it did kind of work, but it took Maxey out. Maxey needs to get back to being the ball-dominant player that he's been so effectively against the Knicks in the past.
We'll see if the Sixers can bounce back. Now, let's get everybody ready because it's time for WNBA.
These two teams have met in the postseason with the Cavs leading the series 3-1. Cleveland won in 4 games in 2016 and 2009, in 6 games in 2007. Pistons' lone series win was 7 games in 2006. Cleveland is riding a 12-game win streak against Detroit in the playoffs, tying basically the longest win streak against a single opponent in NBA postseason history. And it's taken the Pistons time really to rev up in the postseason. Detroit had lost 6 straight game 1s, with their last win coming in the 2008 conference semifinals. That streak is tied for the team's longest losing streak in franchise history. Our Jamal Collier, he's covering the Cavs-Pistons series, joins us now with more. All right, Mal, Donovan Mitchell finds himself in a familiar spot. He has made the playoffs every season of his career, but has never gotten past the conference semifinals. So what is Mitchell saying about this, Jamal?
Well, look, a lot of people, I think, were surprised to see that series go 7 games with the Raptors. But Mitchell was happy to see the way his team responded to get out of that series. You got to remember, last year for the Cavs, they won 60 games. They blitzed through Miami in the first round in historic fashion. And they got to that second round against Indiana, and they didn't really have anything to pull from when Indiana started, responding to adversity, when Indiana took that first game. In this series, they really had to rally in a bunch of different ways to beat a tough, physical Raptors team. Jared Allen had to step up in one game. Dennis Schroeder in one game. You had Mitchell and Harden kind of trading off hot streaks. And that is what Mitchell feels now is going to give them something to pull from in a similar challenge against the Detroit Pistons. Another tough defense that's going to be physical with this Cavs team. And his coach, Kenny Atkinson, agreed. He said that first round series, it really galvanized us. It wasn't fun to go through at the time, Brian, but the Cavs believe they're going to be a better team on the other side of it.
Okay, tip-off is tonight. We'll see if they are. Jamal Collier, thank you.
They were so quiet through the whole commercial break. We told them as soon as he started talking, they were going to start rehearsing, and that's exactly what happened. Back with Kendrick Perkins now. Perk, what do you see as the key to this Cavs-Pistons series?
Well, it's going to come down to physicality. Obviously, we know Kay Cunningham and Donovan Mitchell, they're going to dance right on this stage. But it's going to come down, can the Cavs match the physicality of the Pistons? And it's going to start with their big man, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, to me, is the most important player in this series. He is the second option. With the way that he's versatile offensively and defensively, they both have to come ready to play. We know Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, they're going to bring a certain level of physicality, and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley cannot allow those two guys to punk them. They have to come with it. Jared Allen in Game 7 of this past series against the Magic played the best game of his playoff career. That's the Jared Allen that they're going to need going forward, especially in this series. I have it going 7 games, but I'm giving the edge to the Detroit Pistons in 7.
Okay, before you go, let me see the inside of your jacket. Little Birdie told me I need to ask you about the inside of your jacket.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? It got the little big perk right here too, Jay. I'm trying to do a little something, you know what I'm saying?
Very nicely done. That is Kendrick Perkins.
Try to do a little something.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, try to do a little something.
Love that. All right, back to the NBA, Jay, where we've got two series tipping off tonight. Lakers, Thunder in the West. You got the Cavs and the Pistons in the East. Let's bring in our betting analyst, Erin Dolan, here with her favorite Game 1 plays. So let's start in the East. You got Cavs, Pistons. What's the action you like there, Erin?
I'm looking at the total here. I would go over 215.5. This total feels too low for this series because if you look back to the regular season when they met 4 times, the highest total we saw was 239.5 and the lowest total was 226.5. So this is a big adjustment. And yes, I understand defense typically shows up in the postseason, but if you look just back at round 1, for example, if you look at Cleveland, they played to the over in 5 of 7 games against the Raptors. And then as for the Detroit Pistons, they did start off slow, but they really turned it on at the end of that series in order to even get to this spot. Cade Cunningham has been phenomenal over the last 3 games. So this feels like an over to me. So I'll go over 215.5.
By the way, 83% of the money is on the over tonight, and they split the season series 2 games each. Okay, let's go to the West. How about Lakers and the Thunder? The spread's 15.5, largest underdog role for LeBron James in his career. How are you approaching that number?
I'm looking at OKC in the first half. I laid the 10.5 points, and I completely understand that is a big number for a first half spread, but they've absolutely dominated in the first half against the Lakers, even during the regular season. Take a look at some of these numbers. They have been up by an average of 23 points in the first half of games. So again, while that feels like a big number, OKC has the advantage on offense. They have the advantage on defense. There's a reason why we're seeing this spread so large, but I always get concerned with a double-digit spread that, God forbid there's a backdoor cover. OKC should jump out just like they did against the Phoenix Suns, winning the first half spread in 3 of the 4 games as they swept them. OKC's well rested as well. I mean, they have all the advantages tonight against the Lakers. I think they start off hot in the first half, so I'd lay the 10.5 points, but I would not go any higher than that.
All right, there you go. Doling out her best bets there for you, Erin Dolan. Thank you. All right, this just in to SportsCenter.